எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். First of all, thanks to Sri Dr. M. Jyotish Kumar, Professor, and his brilliant students teams from Tirunnamalai. I am Dr. Suresh A. Shanmugam since I am also from Tirunnamalai and I have done doctorate from computer science. Let us do add some small things which matters a lot or a shift to our thoughts to our students, especially for final year students who can get benefit out of it during this lockdown at home. Smart technology, which help to protect all of us and our future from COVID-19, is the crucial time, especially in rural parts of Tamil Nadu. Definitely the right information which makes us to think and move forward towards technology to guide and help our own mature student society. We will see now entrepreneurs and how to be successful entrepreneur. Let us get into the definition like what is an entrepreneur and how such things works if it comes to normal students. An entrepreneur cites a problem, the need, provides a solution, is offering, monetize it, giving it away is charity, which generally people of entrepreneurs will make it more productivity and they try to get profits. Challenge, we can even start to claim mission accomplished when it sees more profitable and make more and more money that we spend. It comes part of the entrepreneur skills and try to build scaling against towards it and try to capitalize on the skill sets whichever we possess towards the system. To be sustainable scale, build an organization. To all of us, it is not just about money, it is about enjoying what we do and believe and behave in it. The behaviors are more towards the entrepreneurship, creates a successful vision. He will be more of a risk taker, he drives it, he gets able to inspire, he is more persistent and he thrives in confusion and is more optimism. How to become a successful entrepreneur? Being a collective student, always think about, try to bring out how much information we can try to create, which creates each and everything which is possible. Unique way of thinking, reasoning, and trying to acting and properly communicating, risk taking, and continue to believe and behave in our own selves. Execute the local business, global benefits, create an opportunity which is more passionate, holistic to complete, and have a stable in approach. Trusted truth. This very sensible leadership balanced model processes of initiating a business course venture which builds the capacity of that individual, organizing the necessary capitals and properties which is pertains to the resources too. Opportunity focused, which is more to do with innovative and disruptive growth oriented, originate from ideas to innovation to realization. Let us feel from us what type of character we possess, like original thinkers, like risk takers, like take responsibility of own actions, feel competent and capable, set high goals and enjoy working towards them. When we go in depth, we find two types. One is successful entrepreneurs, another one is unsuccessful entrepreneurs. When it comes to successful entrepreneurs, it's more to do with having more innovative and they should be more creative. Try to get as much as positioning themselves in shifting and taking the change mode. Create new products or new markets, getting the quality best out of it and get the best price out of it. Create new process policy procedures and try to create a new delivery model. When it comes to unsuccessful entrepreneurs, they are very poor managers. They bring to an insufficient resource and they even possess less knowledge and try to get fear for every small thing. They do have low work ethics which doesn't build them to do capable work. They do have failure to plan and prepare as much as from the poor managers too. This part of it when we try to do as much as an entrepreneur do have some different types of attributes and they do possess some different qualities. Let us see the key personal attributes and the main characters which part of the entrepreneur are made in and not born. They are not just like that, just they have made it part of it, they try to create as much as which they try to build it. Need of the achievements, they try to build as much as trying to oscillate and try to create those achievements part of their success. Desire for independence, they would like to be free, flexible and try to do as much as what they would want to do and they would want to do for the interest of their own self, which creates more a profitable business to all of us. They create self confidence, they try to have as much as self awareness and try to motivate by having their aspirations, which they try to convert as much as local inspirations into global aspirations. When it comes to more of an outcomes of the entrepreneurships, which is more to do with economic growth, and it is directly related to economic because he has to see as much as profits, which generally creates as much as value system part of it, and try to create an industry which creates a new industry formation, and it allows and empowers people to get more job creations, and it creates a unique value which tends to keep the people happy and try to use as much as the services part of the entrepreneurship. The major belief behavior business benefit overviewing the planning of an executor. If you try to create an entrepreneurship to follow some process which creates as much as the best out of it to create that entrepreneurship, he tries to use an executive summary which is part of the business description and try to create as much as market strategies which will create as competitive analysis which will make them more predictive, and they can even make productive analysis which creates a design and development plans. Operations and management plans do have as much as on the financial factors. Reason to drive in, create as much as of opportunity of change the world, choice of the change as the status quo, bring your own idea to life, free control to create our own creativity, rewards for risk taken, and bring as much as fame and fortune. Improve the lot of others, be a job creator, never having to wonder what if we try to build out. They do have baby steps to move into an entrepreneur model, not necessarily like you have to jump into the big idea and try to create as much as chaos and try to put yourself into trouble. So let us see some steps how we can create an idea and how to get that idea can get into an incubation center and get into a patent, and how they are trying to get successful model and how the business can yield values part of it. Starting from step one, what is a big idea? Generally, that idea is not necessarily to be very holistic and it doesn't have any demand and problem statement. It strongly suggests in our area of expertise and it should be more familiar as better. We should have confident and comfortable with the internals of what we are working with and what we are trying to create as a unique idea which will build for the future. Know that the solutions work in environment of our target customers and try to build them. This is step one. When you bring it to step two, think it through, know directions to follow, how to define the roadmap of our own self, and try to analyze this choice of change to make budgets for their own impact, and try to create as much as potential value which is part of it, and try to synchronize that measures towards the digital impact which creates a futuristic impression which creates like what all the positives can generate out of it. And the step three, being resourceful. Try to identify the resource which could be an internal or external. It could be a project or an object or it could be manpower. Start small, limit initial outlay to a bare minimum. Try to understand and position and try to get the best out of it. Then lean to startup, minimum variable product, and try to create a viable product which is more demand and which requires part of the system which plan to have a scale up and try to create as much as people around with the capital and the infrastructure. So being resourceful is not just small, which we can even plan to have a baby steps and try to create that as much as a viable product which can scale up again as per the people, process, technology. Here we can see people, infrastructure, and capital. Then we can move to the step four, which is like how whatever we made as an ideology part of the incubation center got converted into information, which tries to add value as much as we can and try to bring out that temper, which is our own expectations. No, that overnight success. It's not like just like that we thought and we have made it and we are able to create it. It could be long, it will take a high road with many sacrifices and try to build a unique product. It might take some long time, but still, if you are focusing more on the outcomes and trying to stick to that, we should have a start with an end in the mind and try to get as much as part of it. Tips for getting started into business. First, we should identify whether we are a good mentor or we are finding to try to isolate to a mentor. If you are a good mentor, you can start public of your own self. If not, you can find a mentor Create a business plan and try to implement as much as part of it, and try to create the value system which is part of that, and try to ensure that like it creates a more specific, and try to build a value system of on that part. You are the workful free as a main concept. When we build something else, like keep your expenses low, product quality good, and find as much as startup capital which try to position part of it. When you become a startup, try to raise for a rock star. Working on our own always pulls that why always speak about teamwork, how to verify our own startup trade knowledge as being well received by the startup ecosystem. This is also the right time to start. However, we need to be aware of how things are evolving from day to day and how we can position such things part of it. There are so many companies to guide for students running some thinking courses for how to work for a working professional who needs to sharpen their skills using particular technology, building up as an entrepreneur. Once again I'm saying there are so many companies do guide us and empower the students, especially running some thinking course, and try to create you as a successful entrepreneur for who needs that to sharpen their skills using particular technology, building up as an entrepreneur. That technology is into different phases, which it could be a graphic designing, SEM, search engine marketing, SMM, social media marketing, SEO, search engine optimization, PPC, pay per click. Again, I'm saying it's graphic designing, SEM, search engine marketing, SMM, social media marketing, SEO, search engine optimization, PPC, pay per click. Similar kind of packages guides us to fix and create as much as a thinker. Try to align with the market and try to create the demand so that your supply of information towards making yourself towards a startup gives a meaningful chapter. A meaningful chapter which is waiting to be written by us after this COVID-19 survival. We have to have as much as information towards creating an entrepreneur, and try to build as much as a student to prepare for modeling yourself to become a successful entrepreneur. In this part IT, we can see the entrepreneur use technology digital guide and bring out as much as information which help them to launch their innovative ideas with disruptive technology products to become a successful startup. Thanks for your valuable time. Hope this might be useful to you all. Nandri.